come searching anyway. So I sailed across the sea to see if you were there waiting for me, but you were not. So I sailed back with a broken heart. I waited till 3 to see if you would come looking for me, but you did not. So I fell asleep with a broken heart.
Good, boys and girls.
Hey, what's up? I can't see nothing. I got this big computer in my way, but I want to be able to respond to you guys. It is Monday. Is it?
Yep.
Yes, it's Monday.
Monday, all day
It's
long.
Monday? Jeez. Well, I hope you guys had a really great weekend. We did because, that's what
We're
we try
still
to
here.
do. Another day on paradise. So let me let me respond to these guys real quick. Sean, would you?
Yeah. What's going on in the news and stuff? It's just heart
It's
wrenching.
crazy.
I don't know what burning down a Target and stealing a TV has to do with that young man losing his life.
Yeah.
Um,
No, that's absolutely true.
And people are getting shot down at intersections. Police are being targeted and being assassinated. And what we're doing is we're not showing that man the respect that he deserves.
Right. It's taking advantage. That is exactly what it is. It's taking advantage of the situation.
I mean, it's, we got a lot of cities that they're doing martial law and guys, we just got the doors open, be allowed out of the house.
Yeah. Well, that's
know?
not going to last long.
Do you want to be shot at after 7 o'clock at night if you're outside your house?
Even if it's with a rubber bullet.
Yeah, by the way, that hurts. Those who don't think it does hurt, I got some. Come on by. I'll use it for
We'll do a
target
test-
practice.
we'll do a
Put
test
test run on you. And if you want to, like here in Manatee County, there actually was one without violence, or there was a peaceful event. Don't bring your freaking kids.
Oh my
I
God.
understand that you want to teach your child about history and this and that, and stand up for your rights. But it was up north, and this little girl, she got maced in the face, but the whole group that the little girl was in, they were throwing bricks at the police officers, at the horses, etc. And everyone was blaming the police for spraying the mace in the poor little girl's eyes.
Yeah.
If the parents are doing their job, the kid would not have been there to get that mace in the face. And what if that riot would have turned even more violent?
Right.
Right. To me, I think DCF or whatever should have stepped in, taken the child from the parents and arrested the parents for child neglect. That's like going to a bank and bringing your kid to go rob a freaking bank. Well, I didn't know the kid would get shot. Like, why don't you go? You know what, parents? Why don't you guys go hand feed the sharks? Get some bloody meat. Go hand feed the sharks.
And take your kid.
Take your kid.
And so I was going to ask Sean how he really felt, but
I'm home back.
I know you've already expressed your sentiments to me earlier, and it's a really kind of crazy thing, because the reality is that we are in theory supposed to teach our children our values, and apparently their values were that they would have their kid there at a potentially dangerous situation. But what we got here, and what I've heard all day yesterday and all day today, and tired of hearing it, is that Martin Luther King said that the rioting or protest is the voice of the unheard, and that is absolutely correct. But we're quoting something from 1960 something. And my problem is that there are some leaders that are still here in the world. We'd like to be some of them ourselves, but where are our leaders at? Why are we still going back 30, 40 years to answer the questions of something that exists today that is a completely different time? I mean, we live in a world where we are here on Facebook, and thank you, Facebook, for creating this opportunity for us to do it. And of course, we're on YouTube as well, and thank you guys as well for giving us the opportunity to do this. But we imagine if Martin Luther King had Facebook. You know, it'd be a completely different situation. And so what I'm asking, and we got some young men that are coming into the studio today. Don, I forgot to tell you, but they're here. Got some young men that are coming into the studio today, and one of the reasons they're here, obviously, is to promote their music and their cause. But I also want to get their perspective on all of this. I mean, we've got, on top of Corona, we've got rioting and protesting, and then today we had a freaking monsoon. You know, it's like, you know, one thing on top of another, and I got to tell you, this is one thing I got to tell you. I got really kind of bent out of shape, and not really bent out of shape, because you know me, I'm like kind of laid back. But I was watching CNN, and two of the people that I respect tremendously on CNN. I respect a lot of those people, but fake news or whatever. But Van Jones and Bakari Sellers both were on and together and at various times, and both of them, well, Bakari was crying and Van was distraught and all, and I understand that, because it's crazy when, you know, when a black man is murdered on television. You know, it's crazy. But what they said that disturbed me, and what I went out and reached out, and I'll tell you more about it, what they said that disturbed me is that they said that as a black father, they don't know what to tell their young black children now that this has happened. And I was like, really? I mean, you crying, you defeated, and that's not what they need to hear. What they need to hear is that they're valuable individuals, and that they're uniquely qualified for where they are in their life, because you're gonna grow up black however it goes. That's not gonna change. And we have gone through thousands and thousands of deaths. I wanted to go and look at the statistics. How many people have died as a result of some stupid people who take it upon themselves to be vigilantes and police and whatever it is, you know? How many people have died? But the reality is we've gotten here. We've come a long way, baby, and I don't want all the moral victories and all the victories that we have had up until this point to be belittled by this one situation, which is horrific, no doubt. But this is not going to be the last one.
And,
you know.
And for all you haters out there, guess what? You guys all got black in you.
Yeah, I got Irish.
You know.
You know, and
the
so
last king of Ireland was black.
Yeah.
Or Scotland, I mean.
Yeah, Scotland was black. You know, I went on to President Obama's Facebook page, and I told him what I thought about what Van and and Bakari has said. I went to Bakari and Van's page, and I told him what I thought about it, because that, I mean, to be defeated and to be crying and caring. Don't get me wrong, I mean, being emotional is not a bad thing, you know. But to be like, I don't know what to tell my kids, man. You gotta tell them that you live in this real world, baby, and you're gonna go out there, and everybody's got their own experience, right? I know some white people have had some worse experiences than I've had. I've been pulled over several times where the police officers have told me, sorry, I had to pull you over for this stupid stuff. And Mr. Rose and didn't give me a ticket or anything. Everybody's got their own experience, you know. I never got pulled out the car and ripped and around my neck, but that exists. But you see, what happens is we try to make every experience the whole race's experience. You know, like I represent every black person on the planet. No, I don't. That situation represents every police officer on the planet. No, it doesn't. You know, we got to become thinkers. If this thing has done any one thing for us as people, it has required us to become thinkers. It has required us, and we've been talking about this all the time, to be an existentialist, to be able to take the bigger, broader, chaotic, absurd world that's out there and live within it and create a life for yourself that is your best life, you know? And we can't get caught up in all this, the whole media circus and all that. I mean, because just last week, everything was corona. I was corona. I had corona up to here. Now they ain't even talking about corona. Well, maybe every now and then, because now we're talking about the protests. That's how the news works, okay? But the way our lives work is that we look at it and we make sure that we live our lives in the best way possible, so that we can show our kids, we can show the people around us, we can show the broader world how we view life. And so I had a hip hop group that did a song, "How You See Life." Because that's the question, how you see life. Forget about what the newscasters said. Forget about what everybody else says. I've got 2 adult male children, and I got 6 young men, grandchildren. Okay, and what I want them to know is that they are valuable and that they have the potential and the capacity to do anything in this life, and not one race, not one person, not one thing can stop them from doing it. The only person that can stop them is them. You know, things happen, you know, but the only person that can stop them is them. Okay, so all of this crap of the old woe is me, the white man then beat us down again, man, get over that crap, man. Get over it today. And that's all I got to say about that. You know, I mean, you know, and interestingly enough, right? So here's a scenario, right? You know, you guys know I'm a tennis fanatic, right? And so I played tennis yesterday, and I played tennis with this Asian chick, this Scottish guy, this Ukrainian guy, and me, Black American, or American, whatever you want to call it, okay? Little black boy comes up to the fence watching us. The Asian chick calls him, "Hey, come on in and sit down and let's, you know, and watch it. And when we're done, we'll play with you, okay?" I got this Babolat racket that it slipped out my hand, busted up, but it's, you know, it's still good. I mean, you know, a kid can still use it. So the kid came over and sat down. I gave him my Babolat racket. $150 racket. The Asian, my beautiful Chinese friend gave him a can of balls. At the end of us playing, we hit around with him, and then he went away. And so you had this whole diverse group of people who only saw this little boy as a little boy. They didn't see him as a little black boy. They didn't see him, you know, as a little underprivileged boy or whatever. They saw a little boy that, you know, that had some curiosity in tennis.
But what stinks is he might have went home and got his ass kicked for
where'd you
steal that racket from?
or why you hanging out with some strangers or whatever, because that's the world in which we're living in, you know. But on the flip side of that, hopefully we created maybe a future tennis star from this diverse group of people. You see, we don't know what we don't know, and life ain't always the way it seems, but it is your perspective on it, you know. And here we are, we're enjoying ourselves in the midst of of corona, in the midst of protest and all that, because, you know, this life is short, man.
And now we're going to see a big spike in the virus.
Yeah, because everybody around protesting and carrying on and all that. And before that, the week before that, the beaches were open and everybody was out doing their thing, you know, get busy and smoking and drinking and kissing and hugging and you know, the whole 9 yards. I seen some booty dances in the pool, you know. It was
I didn't think you were looking at it in the pool.
No, it was on Sean's television. Anyway, so yeah, guys, I mean, today what I want to say, and this, because, you know, okay, hi guys, this is the Recovery Room. This is Sean, and this is Timo. We had lost power for a while, and the internet was down, and our crack producer.
Crackhead producer, what do you say?
Was able to pull it all back together, and so here we are again, and so it's Monday, June 1st, and I told you May was gonna get out of here pretty quick, and it sure did. And so here we are in June. We are halfway through 2020, you know. And so what I wanted to come on here today and say is that I wanted to reach out to our young black males, but I want to reach out to some of the older heads too that seem to be confused about what's going on. Baby, this is life, okay? This is life, and you can call it whatever you want to call it. This is life. This incidents. I've been alive. I've been blessed to be alive for 62 years. I've gone through the civil rights movement. I've gone through the gay rights movement. I've gone through all the movements, bowel movements, all kind of movements. Okay, and I'm here to tell you is that this is life. If you think that this is gonna be the last horrible thing that's gonna happen in this life, you are sadly mistaken, my friend. And so, what I would suggest to you very strongly is that you man up. Okay, you do yourself some introspection. You know, think about where you are in your life and where you're trying to go, and use this Corona period, this shutdown, this reboot, this whole opportunity to get your stuff together and do that, and do it right now, and clean the slate from all the mistakes that you made and all that. Start right now today to build a better you. Go inside, do some internal intellectual re-engineering is what I'd like to call it. And now's the time.
You know, if someone were to say on May 1st, hey, what do you think's going to happen this month? It's going to be burning down the United States.
It's going to be one of those months.
So we got 30 more days of this month, or as my friends put.
Yeah.
But if they said, "Oh, I'm on level 6 Jumanji,"
yeah,
you know, it's like, we don't know what's going to be in store for us this month.
Yeah.
But I know this: if it carries on, it's going to be martial law.
Oh, it's already happened when they're in
nationwide.
There. Yeah, our National Guard they're in towns, and no, it's going to be national law. But even if it's not, what's going to happen is that I told you 2 months ago. What's going to happen is that they're going to let us back out. We're going to go out there and act a fool. And we're gonna and they're gonna get a remarkable increase in deaths and cases, and they're gonna lock us down again. Except now, maybe because we've been protesting, we're not gonna lock down. I mean, it's a catch-22, huh?
Get locked up.
Yeah, you're gonna get locked up. Yeah.
At 3 o'clock this morning, they had the total out. With everything that's going on, there was 4,100 people arrested for vandalism, etc., for rioting. My heart goes out to that poor man's family. Guys, just think before you go do something.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Let me see if I can. Even with my glasses on, I can't see so well. Let me see if I can make this a little bigger. Hey guys, there's some chairs up there. Go up and grab yourself one. We'll do you guys both individually, but grab one of those chairs up there. Hold on. Let me answer. I got all kinds of.
Yeah, I wasn't able to pull it up on my Facebook page again, but
okay. Let me answer a couple of the quotes here. Let's see. Judy has put down the recovery room. She stole Don's thunder. She put the phone number for the recovery room on there. But I don't know if I forwarded, so just call 941-536-671. Anyway, call that number. Keep that number handy. The 941-25. What is it? 201-5226. Keep that handy. Okay. Judy says it requires us to have empathy towards our fellow men and women that bleed red like we all do, and that is the absolute truth. We all bleed red, and what is happening right now, as far as I'm concerned, what is happening right now is that I never saw so many white journalists crying on television about this act of madness, okay? And what that requires, as far as I'm concerned, is that white people, black people, red people, yellow people, all the people understand that there's only one race, and that's the human race. Okay, and I mean, and the thing that we got to get over it as much as anything is our indifference. You see, we're all thinking people. We all have the capacity. I mean, yeah, some people were raised to hate certain other people, which is ridiculous in a time like this. Like I said, if Martin Luther King would have had Facebook and YouTube and Instagram and all that, man, this thing would have been done. You know, everybody in the world would have got the message, and then it'd be completely different. But these days, it is up to us. We all have these tools at our disposal. Spread love, people. Spread like information that is conducive to us having a life that is worth living here in this most beautiful. Because I don't care what else anybody says. America, because I've been a lot of other places. America is still the best place in the world to live. Okay, but we can screw it up, because listen, Rome fell. All these empires have fallen. We can screw it up. You know, we can do like you said. We have the tanks and stuff rolling down the street, and America will never be the same again.
And then unfortunately, now you're going to have all these people who don't know how to handle a weapon. They're going out and buying these.
Yeah. There going to be deaths from, you know,
Death
think it was
from
a suicide. Yeah, think it was a suicide. No, it was just somebody didn't know how to use the weapon. And so, you know, I just really feel like, you know, over the last, we're gonna 3 years of doing this, and all we've ever talked about, we've been talking about addicts, right? We've been talking about addiction, but see, the thing is that we started just talking about the opioid addiction, right? And what we found is as we went along, we found that people are addicted to a lot of stuff, man. You know, and some people are addicted to hate and anger, believe it or not. And that's what I think about that young man who had the audacity to put his knee on a man's neck that couldn't defend himself, because I guarantee if homeboy could have had his hands free, that shit wouldn't have been going down like that. You know, so that guy, that man, is got some anger issues that I don't know where they come from. I don't know what they are, but it has nothing to do with black or white or anything. It has everything to do with anger.
Because the individual, he was in the back of the cop car. He pulled them out to do that.
Yeah. And so he has some anger issues. And then there's a lot of people with anger issues around him. There's a lot of mental illness going on. And there's going to be anything that comes out of this. Hopefully, it's going to be a healthcare system that addresses mental illness. And for my fellow addicts and my people that I love out there, and God, if nobody's told you they love you today, let us be the first. We love you. For my fellow addicts out there, you know, if healthcare can get right, and there's a lot of us that are trying to get treatment, but because we don't have any insurance, we can't get it. I'm hoping that healthcare is the main thing that comes out of this, because that is a mental, that what that dude did was mental. Nothing else. You can call it whatever you want. That was a mental dude. And then the other people standing around them is what happens in America right now. Like I said, we have a big case of indifference.
Oh, let me record this.
Yeah,
This is black.
Man, back in my day, there'd been some police officers we've been fighting.
Oh yeah, I would have been in the jail.
I'd been in jail with the dude. I wouldn't sit there and let that dude get murdered. I'll tell you that now. You know, let me take a picture of it. Don't get me started on that one, please.
To commercials and then bring our guests.
Okay, all right. We'll do them one at a time. You want to do them both?
We can do the commercials and then they can bring their chairs up.
Okay, you got a space? Can you get them over here?
Well, I could slide out.
You can move over.
I can move over and get them in. All right, commercials. Hey, the recovery room is brought to you by. He said.
So you want me to scoot over there
Our
and try to get
sponsor was
everybody
here.
in?
POWarriors.com, the website created to connect our brave men and women of the armed forces, first responders, and medical personnel to our community of businesses and services that honored their service. POWarriors.com, protecting our warriors who protect us.
Spice up your next event with the Hammock Haven Experience. To find out more, go to thehammockhaven.com or call 941-201-5226. The Hammock Haven. Chillax a minute.
Oh yeah. Hey, we're on. Could we frame Jamal in, please? Donald.
Don's
The
like-
Donald.
He's doing all the juggling.
Yeah, they
now.
got some
Terrible.
protests going on about everything. As long as it remains protest,
About to say,
Can't
as long
keep
as it
burning.
remain protest,
Yeah, we
they
can't
gonna
burn.
have it on anything.
we can't burn. We can't keep burning stuff down. That's okay. Oh, hey guys, we're here. Donald corrected thing. We got our resident our artists. They're back. We got Jelani and Jamal here, and these guys are. This is all this stuff that's going on. Kind of course. The gentleman was 46 years old. Floyd was 46 years old. But more often than not, who is affected by this systemic, what we call a systemic racism. I don't go for that one. I call it hate on whatever level it is. It doesn't matter whether it's race. I mean, this guy would be somebody that would beat his wife. You know what I mean? You got people that would beat children. I mean, hate is hate. It's hate. It doesn't matter where it comes from. We have a tendency to take this particular incident because it has happened frequently, but it happens frequently and it gets the news coverage. There are people, as I said, that are child abusers, that are whatever, and this happens on a daily basis. And I'm a victim myself of child abuse, and it happens on a daily basis, but it doesn't get the news coverage that it deserves. And so what I'm proposing and what I want to see happen is that we expose, because that's what Corona has done, and that's what this whole thing has done, that we expose hate and anger and frustration and mental illness and all these different things on whatever level that exists. Not just a black man getting killed by a white man, but a Asian man killing his wife or beating his wife or whatever the case might be. We've got to address the core issue. One of those core issues is poverty. I don't want to call it poverty, but what's a better term, Don? Disenfranchised, those who are, let's call it lower income people that are suffering on a daily basis. So that brings into this conversation about the looting and rioting. Man, people have been home for 2 months, locked up. They haven't had no money, and they had a new pair of sneakers or nothing. And so when the opportunity comes to get something, we're gonna get it.
And now it's declared an act of terrorism.
Yeah, now it's an act of terrorism. But targeted more often than not are these young men, or young men like these.
Yeah, they didn't do anything wrong, guys. It's not what you say.
Yeah. No, we didn't bring them here because they did something
He went to
wrong.
jail. Say, hey, you guys come over here.
Yeah, come on in. Let me tell you. Tell us what your jail experience was like.
Well,
No, they are here because like a lot of guys, a lot of young men, they're enterprising. They have a dream and a goal, and like I said when I wrote the president about these guys, what I want to see happen is that our goals become more enhanced. I don't want anybody having any inferiority complexes because I'm a black man. No, that's ridiculous. That makes absolutely no sense. And so my goal and my job is to encourage young men to do what it is they're going to do, to live their best life. And so but let's talk about, give me your thoughts on, you were here when we had Corona already, so already talked Corona. Let's talk about what has gone down lately. Give me your thoughts on what has gone down lately, and God has given you some material to work with.
I got a song about it.
I knew it.
I got a song about it in the works. I mean, it's still under construction right now, but I mean, my take on what's been going on right now, I mean, ain't no different than what's been going on for years.
Hello.
Ain't no different than what's been going on for years. It's just simple. To be honest, I think really they're just trying to bring segregation back in a way. Almost really, just from how the events that done took place. You got people looting, you got people really getting out there. They really rioting out here, and like people masked up. You don't know whether it's for Rona or is
out
it
there with
just
masks
for,
on.
It's just what's been going on for years. Now it's just like probably 10 times worse than what it is now, because now we got social media, so everything right there at your disposal to get blown up out of proportion.
Yeah,
or,
lies and frauds and
all
fake
that,
news. And,
all that, man.
yeah, everybody's a journalist now.
Yeah, everybody's an activist now, but like
Yeah.
about 6 months ago, everybody was like, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But I mean, now everybody's an activist now, and they're sharing their opinions.
So tell me a little bit about your thoughts on the new song that you're writing about this. What is the content?
I mean, it's really more based of just me saying my side of it. Like, I mean, just really just knowing the information that I know from what happened years ago, and then just what we're going through now. It's just a little correlation of both things of what's going on. I'm just basically just trying to tell people that it's coming back.
Mm-hmm.
It's coming back, but it may be a little bit worse than what it was back then.
Mm-hmm.
Well, history repeats itself,
So
Yeah.
it is.
unfortunately.
Everybody keeps saying that we tried Martin's way for years, but it didn't work. Now they want to try Malcolm's way. So
Yeah, no. What I'm going to tell you is that you live in the age of information, okay? And it don't Malcolm, Malcolm and Martin all had their own influences. They had their own educational backgrounds, okay? What I'm promoting right now is for you guys to step up and be the leaders. Okay,
Sure.
and that's what hip hop has had the opportunity to do. And I don't know if it's really reached there yet. It's going to, but you guys have the opportunity to be the spokesman for your generation, for sure, and for some of us that still enjoy hip hop. You got the opportunity to get the real information. Forget what they feed you. Okay, with this social media, with Google and Bing and all these different things, you can Google any information and get it. And I want you guys to start being self-thinkers, okay? I mean, some of the stuff that's come up, yeah, use it, but become leaders. That's what we have right now is a void of leadership, whether black or white or indifferent. There's no real. The leadership is not. Is almost invisible. So I encourage you guys to, because what you're doing with your music is expressing yourself, right?
yeah.
So I encourage you guys to. I mean, how do you feel about being a young black man now, Jamal? I mean, what is it? Did you have this vision of it's gloom and doom, or do you see a future? Or
With me being a young black man, I definitely feel the pressures of the everyday life because things are different. We all come from one place. We all bleed the same. We all have all the same bodily functions. We all human. But obviously, with the racial tension that's going on today, you have to, for different races, there's different worries. There's different things we got to go through because for somebody who may be Caucasian, if they get stopped by the police, the same thoughts that I have going through my head is not the same thoughts that I have going through theirs. And should it be that way? No, because at the end of the day, we're all human. There's nobody above anybody else. But just being a black man, I'm scared. Sometimes I get scared because I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna make it back home to see my mother and my father. If I'm not gonna be able to be there for my cousins and my sisters and all the people that need me to be there for them. This whole thing going on. It's with the whole George Floyd, rest in peace to him.
rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
It's definitely not. With me personally, I don't look at people because of their color. I look at them because of their actions
Absolutely.
and their character.
That is
And,
absolutely true.
of course, Black Lives are definitely, Black Lives Matter, definitely a legitimate movement.
Yeah.
And I have all the things that come out of it been legitimate. I can't sit there and, 100% back up everything because with George Floyd's death, I don't believe looting and rioting is
It doesn't respect
It
him.
doesn't
It doesn't
respect
honor.
his name.
It doesn't honor him.
because this is supposed to be a movement for equal rights, and then with the rioting and looting, it's turning into something completely else.
Yeah.
And
No, absolutely.
With him being a white officer, I don't see it as he's I just happen as he's an officer who obviously had an anger problem, he needed some help because obviously that man, he wasn't thinking right because you took him out of the police cruiser and then did that to him. And for him to get the 3rd degree, I think that was a little bit ludicrous. But
Yeah.
I'm not a lawyer, I'm not
Right.
a judge, so that's not my call. And I just feel like it's a character thing. He just happened to be a cop that was white, who made the wrong choice. And I think people need to start reflecting. It's a character thing.
Mm-hmm.
You can be a bad black person. You can be a bad white person. You
Yeah,
can be a bad
yeah.
Asian
There's a
person.
bad apple in every group, man.
Exactly. It's a
You
character.
know,
I done
without a
seen them all.
doubt. And that's what I want to say. It's like, listen, we got to respect our. There's bad apples in every group, right? And we now start looking at police officers and they're as a whole group. It's like that's the same thing they try to say with black people, right? All black people are this way. All police officers. It's not true. All police officers are not that way. And what I want to say is that without them, this crime and chaos, that'll be our everyday life.
Literally.
Okay, and
A
so
lot of people wouldn't have made it.
yeah, and so we've got to respect the institution and understand that in that institution there are a good and bad in everything. You know what I mean? And that's a tough job. I mean, it's not a job for everybody. You know. Somebody just asked me, first of all, hey, Paul Miles, good to see you on here. He said, keep up the humanity. They want me, you guys to introduce yourselves again, please.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right. My name is Lonnie. I'm a recording artist out of Sarasota, Florida.
My name is Jamal Watson. I'm also a recording artist out of Sarasota, Florida. Just representing for the young and black and entrepreneurs and all that. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, yeah. I got a call from Mario on I guess it was Friday or Saturday, and was asking when it was a good time for you guys to come back on. And I said today
Yeah.
because of what's going on, and it's always good to have other perspectives. I mean, I'm fortunate enough to have gone through a lot to get to this point, and so my experiences is not any kind of book stuff. Well, I mean, I obviously got some education, but my experience comes from this school of hard knocks.
Sure.
That concrete out there. And it's embedded and it's ingrained, and as I said, I'm a father and a grandfather, and I'm fortunate to be both, and I want that for all you guys. So I want you to be able to grow up and have your career and have your family and be a positive motivating force in this society. And like I said, racism, there's only one race, guys.
Human.
And that's the human race. And if I have anything to do with it, I will let people know that this is our turning point. I mean, there's been more. They had the mothers of 3-4 of the victims on television today. Garner in New York, and the young man Trayvon, and then this guy. I mean, and these incidents will happen. But I believe that this one, on top of the corona and the other things that are going on, this is our opportunity. This is our turning point. This is our opportunity to get our minds right, to re-engineer this thing such that we can live in a world that everybody is free. Because that's been the key word. Want to be free.
Because what's crazy is right before the George Floyd incident, my cousin, like his mom's birthday was like the day after when this incident went down. His friend came over to wish his mom a happy birthday, but he got stopped by the cops or whatever, but then what my cousin sends me a video of, basically the same scenario of what George Floyd was. He was handcuffed, stomach flat on the ground. Cop got his knee in his neck. I mean, it didn't get as bad as George Floyd. He wasn't down like very harsh like that. But I seen that, and then probably like right after that was when the George Floyd incident happened. I was like, wow, that could have really been my cousin's best friend. So it's just I just find it crazy about how things just really play out now, and just how people are really just, I call some of it overreacting, because I mean I get why everybody's all riled up and doing the actions they're doing. I don't condone the reason why, because tearing down your local businesses it's not gonna bring them back. It doesn't do nothing but put more people out of work even longer than what it was, because obviously with Corona, people were furloughed, and some people haven't gotten their jobs back or just lost their jobs completely.
Yeah.
And just looking for work in general. So now with y'all well, with whoever is doing it, they're rioting and looting.
Yeah.
Now
It's
you're
another
prolonging the
setback.
process. You're prolonging the process of people getting back into work. But I do want to make it known that I do understand why everybody's acting the way they're acting, because this has been going on for years. How many times have police brutality done reared its head on black people? I had a cousin that died due to police brutality. And I mean, nothing that happened years then, like nobody wasn't doing nothing like this back then. But I mean, just like how he broke it down to me, this particular incident with Floyd, that was just a straw that broke the camel's back.
It is.
Like, you can only take so much before you start getting like out of control. You just explode out of anger doing.
Oh yeah, and
stuff
you've been
that you
locked
know.
up for a couple of months and all that, and
That too.
and it's tough.
Well, that,
Uh-huh.
and just a couple weeks ago, you had that white lady in
Central
Orlando,
Park.
Central,
Yeah.
who drowned her autistic son.
Oh, yeah,
And
that's
said,
even
"Oh,
more
well, two
crazy.
black guys jumped in, they stole my car and my kid."
Yeah, blame it on the black guy.
And so
Yeah.
then you had the police out there harassing blacks, going, "Hey, what do you guys know? What do you guys know? What do you guys know? Where's this kid at?" And the mom's the one to drown her own son.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, Judy said, and this is an interesting point. It says she said to me, "It's got to be hard to mentor young black men to respect police when this abuse is so prevalent." But it's
Oh yeah, it is.
yeah, but you have to respect it. This, I mean, this is a. I mean, I work with a company, and we honor police officers and first responders and all of that, because they got a job that the majority of us would never do. You know what I mean? You know?
I thought about doing it at one point when I was younger. Like,
Yeah.
that was one of like at that point in time my dream job to do for some reason. But I think it's because I seen a lot of it on TV though.
Well, firefighters are like, "Hey, there's a fire.
Yeah.
Let's go run inside there."
Yeah.
Go-
Yeah.
I'm not going in there.
Yeah, but then
No.
but then I think the reality broke in for me when I actually like shadowed a cop for like a couple of days or so, and I was like, "Yep, not mine." Not like, definitely not what they see on TV. So
Thank you, Paul
Career
Miles.
change.
Paul Miles has asked us to speak on the spiritual aspect of on what we can do, and I think that is the main thing, Paul. I think that is we have been, we again, this is a recovery room, and for all of our fellow addicts out there, we what we're talking about, it obviously affects you guys. But I think that what has happened in our society is a lack of spirituality, and I'm not talking about religion, you see, because this is the problem, that this is where the rubber meets the road. So many people have a problem with Christianity or organized religion as it is, but spirituality is a whole nother thing. What I think is that spirituality governs how we interact amongst each other, and we've got to get a little bit more spiritual, and so you don't have to believe in whatever everybody else believes in, but you got to find a God, I would say. And what I like to say as an acronym for God is I call it good orderly direction. Okay, GOD. Good orderly direction. You see, when you like that, you like the little clunky thing going down the road, and you don't got no direction, that serves no purpose. But when you, like you guys, you got to focus, right? You're artist, and Paul Miles is an art. Paul Miles is one of the most prolific writers that I know on the planet. As an artist, you've got to have a direction. You got to have a focus. You got to have a target, and you've got to laser that thing.
yeah.
Okay, you got to look at it. It's not like some arbitrary kind of thing. The people who make it in this business had a laser focus on what they were doing, and they pursued it, above everything else. Okay, and so it is. I feel with our spirituality. I'm not condoning any Buddhism or any of those kind of things. Find something that works for you. If it turns out to be Christianity, that's great, because it is a good guideline. But spirituality is going to be the thing, and I think that's what people are examining more with this whole incident that has happened on top of the corona than anything else. is our spirituality. Paul, if you got a comment on it, send it, and I'll tell people. But we got Minister Sean here.
When someone tells me they're spiritual, demons are spirits too. So I always take a step back. They go, "I'm very spiritual." I take a step back, going, "Okay, I don't know, which team are you playing for?"
Yeah, because you can't serve two masters.
And everyone said, "Well, Sean, you're a minister now. What faith do you follow?" And I don't care if you're Catholic, Christian, Buddhist, Jewish. There's a higher power. Believe in the higher power.
Yeah, a power greater than yourself.
More wars have been started because of religion.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
And
It is true. It is true. Now, let me ask you this, Sean. Now, here you've got 3 black men, older than younger, and we've got this stuff divided seemingly into black and white and all that. Give us the glue. What are your thoughts? What advice would you give these young black men and the older black man like myself, or our listening audience out there when we come into this
don't
race
follow
thing?
the masses.
Yeah, because you take the M off.
Asses. Be yourself. When I was growing up, I think I was 13. We adopted he's my brother. He's George. He's black. And when I was in a hospital from one of my motorcycle accidents, it was touch and go. It was family only. And he came in to see me, and they're like, "Well, you got to be family." And I'm like, "Well, that's my brother." And the nurse walks in and goes, "But he's black." And I was like, "George, do you know you're black?" He's like, "Oh, I'm black." I'm like, "Hey, nurse, am I black? It doesn't matter what color you are."
Yeah, I had that little I had a funny little encounter today earlier at work, because I work at the hospital. And I work in the transport and linen department. So one of the transporters, she's a older white lady, and I call her mom every time, just because she has like that motherly instinct. So
Right.
So we're in the hallway, and it's like somebody of the other occupation. I see her in the hallway, so I'm like, "What's up, Mom?" And then the person of the other occupation just looks back like with a confused look on her face, like, is that really your son?" And then she was like, "Yeah, why?" He was like, "I look nothing alike." I was like,
Well, the same
"Yeah,
time, my
look
brother
alike."
George called my mom, and everyone would be like,
Yeah.
"What?"
And this is just that opportune time, guys. So we cut through all the crap, right? I mean, because I got a spiritual mom, and she's white, and when I call her mom, people look at me like, and her husband's are dead,
How'd that happen?
How did you do it? Somebody jumped the fence? No, because how many people have been adopted in the world, right? And those parents treat those kids as good as any biological kid can ever be. How many people need some kind of maternal, paternal kind of love that they can get that they couldn't get from their biological, that they can get from somebody else? You know what I mean? We got to cut through all the crap, because what we've done is that we've become indifferent. We've become complacent. We've become like conformist. You know what I mean? It's like I've got to represent all black males. I don't, and I don't want to. I got to represent Terry T. Bone Rose. That's who I represent here. And what I try to do with my representation is show respect from like what my grandfather and my father and my mother and my people and my grandmother and what they told me, the stuff that they ingrained in me. That's what I've got to show the world, and hopefully that is something that is going to make my little world around me just a little bit better. Hopefully it's going to touch one person, whether they be white, black, or red, or yellow, or whatever all the colors are in the rainbow. It is my actions that determine that. Okay, and what I want to show, because like we always say, right? There's 2 kinds of people, right? There's people that when you walk into the room, the people applaud, and there's people that when you leave the room, the people applaud. You know what I mean? We want us to be people that when we walk into the room, the light shines, the light comes on. It doesn't get darker. People don't go, "Oh Lord."
Let me just put it to you guys. They're simple. Like at my last accident, I had 16 blood transfusions. I didn't say, well, hey, make sure that blood only came from a white person. No, it saved my life. I don't care. So if you're lying there and you're drowning, would you not reach out if there was a black person going to pull you out of the water and save your life? Or would you, oh, nope, I'll just drown.
Yeah, let me go.
You know, we're all brothers and sisters in this, you know.
Now here's a little story, right? And this is how I feel about this particular incident. That is another one, right? So there's a flood, right? And it got so bad that the guy had to go up on his roof, right, to get out of the water. And so he's up there and he says, oh my God, he said, I'm waiting for a sign from God. And this log roll right by him, right? And he then looked at the log, like, no, I'm waiting for a sign from God. There's a little rowboat that comes by, a couple of people in it, and he said, oh no, I'm waiting for a sign from God, you know. And then a helicopter comes, lets the ladder down, and he said, no, I'm waiting for a sign from God. Drowns, goes to heaven, says, God, I was waiting for a sign. How come you didn't save me? What's the fool? I sent you a log, I sent you a rowboat, I sent you a helicopter. That's what this looks like to me. We've had Trayvon, we've had Garner, we've had this. We get all of these signs of what we need to do, waiting for a sign from God. God is sending these signs that you have to become spiritually sound. You have to become kind to people. You have to show love. You have to show compassion. Compassion is described as seeing a need and fulfilling it. And that's what we have to do now. We have to see this need to a young black man. You've got to be kind to an old white woman. Old white woman, you got to be kind to a young black man. Somebody said, I saw today. Would you tell me? Somebody said this old white woman just walked up to this young black man and said, "I love you. You're important. Your life does matter." That's what's got to happen more. We've got to have this sense of we're in this thing together. Okay, we're in this thing together. There is no, like when it comes down to Corona, it didn't come down on just black people. It didn't come down on just white people. It came down on everybody. And that's the thing about these riots. If you look at these riots, they're the most diverse protests I've ever seen in my life.
And you got stars.
Young, old, white, black.
You got stars like John freaking Cusack telling everybody, keep the riots up so we can get rid of the president. What the hell does this have to do with the freaking president?
Nothing to do with it.
You know, they're actually delivering pallets of bricks there so people will throw the bricks at each other to create more chaos.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay, here's Paul Miles' response. He says, thank you for the input. I like the human race aspect of where we should go. Many distractions are taking us off the mark. I appreciate the young stepping up. Let's give them as much support as possible. They are the future. He's in Switzerland. Even in Switzerland, I'm looking at the future of America for the upcoming years, for my grandchildren. Continue on. I salute you all. Peace and love. And this is what you guys, and I want everybody to know, is that people are watching. Not just this show, but people are watching. And it doesn't matter what you say, it's what you do. That's that whole faith without works is dead kind of scenario. Doesn't matter what you say, it's what we do. We got 5 minutes. You guys give me some closing statements.
Well, he puts you in the spot by that. By the way.
Yeah, I do that.
I remember that from the film days.
Yeah. He worked on a film with me.
I'm sorry.
I mean, be your own person. Be yourself. Don't follow the crowd. Think of a mind of your own. Do not wait for nobody. Move on. Move at your time, your pace, your race. And really just love everybody, no matter black, white, purple, green, whatever.
You hear that Van Jones, you hear that Bakari Sellers, you hear that all them people out there in the news, media, perpetrating this, because this is my problem that I had with that. What you tend to do is you're perpetrating this whole inferiority complex, this whole they got us by the balls kind of scenario that sucks. Okay, because we are all individuals. We all have been blessed with some talent, some skill, some gift, something that we can do that doesn't matter whether we're black, white, or blue, or green, but we must do it though. Jamal?
The one, if nobody listened to anything that I said, and then like just not the viewers, but everybody around the world love each other. Because at the end of the day, I'm very spiritual. I'm not gonna push my religion on anybody. My dad's a pastor, so I've grew up with it all my life. And when stuff goes not right, I pray about it, and I try to find the best in everybody, and I try to find that love, so we can all bridge together as one. Because in my belief in body in Christ, we all came from one person, and we all His children, and y'all my brothers in Christ, brothers and sisters in Christ. So I'm trying to, get to a place where everybody can come together as one. Because at the end of the day, we all the human race. We all bleed the same. We all cry the same. We all have these same emotions and thoughts that we go through. And the next time that you decide to make action, just look and be like, what more in common do I have with him than different? Because at the end of the day, when we all look at our differences and similarities, we're more alike than what we think.
Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Sean?
I can't top that.
Yeah, I'm kidding, right? That's what I was thinking. I was thinking that exactly. But what I do want to play off of what he says is like, okay, don't get caught up in the religion. Don't get caught up in the self. Don't even caught up in that word prayer, because have a good day is a prayer. Okay, get home safe is a prayer. Break a leg is a prayer. Okay, wish good things for other people. Prayer. People only praying for themselves. Pray for some other people. Pray for a great outcome for this. Pray for some one kid to get it, so that they grow up and they're able to be the best that they can be. Because there's some leaders that are out there that are being suppressed right now. We've got to give them the opportunity and the goals and the tools to rise up and be and be who they're supposed to be. Guys, I got to say to you guys, you can come on this show anytime you get ready, because you are two young black men that I appreciate your candor. I appreciate your honesty, and I appreciate where you're going with your lives. And you're welcome to come on this show anytime. Anyway, guys, it is not your aptitude, how smart you are, that determines your altitude, where you end up in life. It is your attitude. Okay, so have an attitude of gratitude, of kindness, of love, and compassion, and then let's move this world onto the place where it's supposed to be. This is Recovery Room. Peace, y'all. Love you.
Peace out. We love you guys.
And left me with nothing to say. You already knew I would come searching anyway. So I sailed across the sea to see if you were there waiting for me, but you were not. So I sailed back with a broken heart. I waited till 3 to see if you would come looking for me, but you did not. So I fell asleep with a broken